All right, guys, welcome back to Technique Critiques from Big Ben Strength and Brian. This is Brian that is getting critiqued here. We're going to be taking a look at some of my lifts from this week's training. These are 65 kilo hip snatch doubles. Some people call these dip snatches as well. So let's take a look and see what we got. Yeah, okay. All right, so first off, let's start with our setup position. One thing that frustrates me when people do hang snatches is they just kind of lazily pick up the bar and get it to their hips and then assign tension and get their body set, and then they set up for the lift once it's up to their hips. But we know that we're always practicing being good at something or being bad at something. And so if every single time you pick up the bar to do hip snatches, you are practicing being lazy at it, you will continue to get lazier at that. All right. So get tight, pull the bar like you intend to snatch it, right, off the ground or clean it off the ground, and move like you intend to snatch it. See, that would have been a beautiful snatch. All right, let's take a look at the actual lift now. Big deep breath, chest out, nice and tall. I'd like to see elbows rotated a little bit more, and you'll see why here in a second. Dip looks a little too low on the dip. I'd like to see maybe a little bit less of a dip. Right there should be enough. This is excessive because then my balance starts to shift forward onto my toes. That's just way too much here, right? We want the dip snatch and the hip snatch, the hang snatch. We want it to mimic a snatch from the ground. Same thing with the clean. So don't mistake that dip for just whatever you need to get the lift done, but instead only dip the amount that you would be in if you were snatching or cleaning this from the ground. So a little bit shorter of a dip here. Finish my extension, but let's take a look at that. No, wrong direction. All right, so here I would like to see my elbows keep this bar as close to me as possible. All right, my beard's getting a little long. It should be trying to brush my beard, but instead I lean back away and the bar goes pretty far out in front of me, right? My arms are horizontal here as opposed to I'd like to see elbows high and tight and bar really close, way closer. Which doesn't affect me too much on this lift. But on the second one, you'll see I step forward. Let's take a look at the second one. Big breath, puff the chest out. Still too low in that dip there. Oh, I was even lower in that dip. And now here, this should be the most that I lean back at the top of a pull. Oh, okay, that one was better than the last one. I did lean back a little bit more than that. But I still need to finish my pull by pulling myself under and keeping that bar close to me. This bar is going out away from me. And because of that, it loops a little bit. It's just out in front. And I'm on my toes in that catch, right? And I'm doing no feet on these. So that's all bar path issue if I have to step forward for sure, which I do. So the big thing here to look at is make sure that you're finishing your pull high and tight, elbows high and tight. Sometimes you can help fix that by trying to rotate your elbows out so that your elbows can go up like that at the top of your pull. If they're rotated like a deadlift, you're not going to be able to get the height on that you want. And then minimize the dip so it's a little bit shorter. You want the hang snatch and the hang clean are there to imitate a full lift, not its own separate lift. So keep that in mind as well. All right, guys, that's it.